How can we guard against a hobby becoming an obsession or something that distracts us from pursuing kingdom work? I think what we've got to do is look at everything in our lives and ask, is this under the Lordship of Christ? Christ is to be Lord of my whole life. So He is to be Lord of my house, He's to be Lord of my car, He's to be Lord of my hobbies, He's to be Lord of my television watching, of sports and whatever role sports may have in my life. In 1 Corinthians 10:31, we're told, whether you eat or drink or whatever you do, do all to the glory of God. So with anything in my life, I have to say, can I do this to God's glory? And am I doing this to God's glory? So whether it's fantasy football, or whether it's quilting, or whether it's Facebooking, or whether it's email, or movie watching, or whatever it is this thing an instrument or a tool of God in my life that's bringing about some good things like rest and recreation and intellectual stimulation? Or is this thing a bad thing that is distracting me from kingdom priorities? Instead of doing this, could I be going over and developing a relationship with a neighbor, helping someone who's in need, spending time in God's Word, reading a great book, talking with my children? So it's not legalism, it's not hard and fast, you must do this or you must do that, but it's just weighing and evaluating, finding a balance in our lives where we recognize that all things, or nearly all things, can be used to the glory of God, but am I right now, in my life, is this thing in sufficient balance in relationship to everything else that I could and should be doing? Or has it gone out of balance and has it become an idol, something that's consuming my attention in ways that it shouldn't? I think one of the tests of that is, does my mind go there all the time? You know, when it's free to go where it wants to. If it's your fantasy football team you're thinking about all the time and it's not Jesus, that's probably a pretty good indication that fantasy football has come to have too much of a role in your life. If fantasy football is in balance, in the larger scheme of things, and it's not interfering with the Lordship of Christ, then by all means it could be something God is honored and glorified in.